Hello, hello, peoples, friends, all of those things.
All of you. How are you? Welcome to 40K Today, your weekly
Today,
show today.
we are ready to talk about things and stuff.
Oh,
There's
yes.
tournaments coming up, there's models coming out. We did a tier list on Friday that I
Yep.
didn't get to take part in, which makes me sad. But
Tisk tisk.
I was ready. I was ready, willing, and able.
Yep.
But then I got you frozen. I hope you're not frozen anymore. So we'll see
I
in a
shouldn't
moment.
be.
Now it's
I
from
shouldn't
my
be.
end. So we're good to go.
Uh,
Who needs an intro? Yeah, I know. I accidentally clicked the wrong button to go. I literally went click. Oh no, I'm live. I guess I'll
We're
just
live
continue
straight
talking.
away. We'll do all the ads at the end.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie daisy. Sorry, Siegler.
We are indeed evening. We are evening. I am Easter Standard Time. What's up? What's up, everyone?
5 o'clock, late afternoon, I would say. Right?
Yeah, it's all the same. It's getting dark now. It feels like nighttime. It's all the same.
Oh, it is nighttime now. Oh, good old daylight savings time. That's right. Clocks went back this Sunday.
Indeed.
I went to a little RTT this past Sunday. That was really fun. So it was nice to go out and play some games. Although daylight savings messed up my sleep schedule like big time.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, my friend. So, what do you got going on? What are you most excited about right now?
Well, they just teased like Helbrecht and that Castellan and the Crusaders and like Chaplain Grimaldus, like the Black Templar stuff. And the upgrade sprue, which by the way, I'm very excited about because I've been playing a lot of Black Templars lately, and Impulsors with multi-Meltars are truth. They're so good. They're so fun. I really enjoy them a lot. So I can't wait to get my hands on a couple of those upgrade sprues so I can run little transports with anti-tank guns.
Well, let's talk
It's like
about
the
these. Let's talk about these guys. We've even got a little article about redesigning the Black Templars, Hildrach Grimaldus, and the Emperor's Champion.
well, they're classic models. Like I've been playing Black Templars since 23 years ago. I'm gonna,
It's
it's a
been a hot
decent amount of
minute.
time.
It's been a hot minute.
A hot minute. I've and and so I have like the old classic Emperor's Champion, like the Games Day one. He's holding like a sword, like by two hands. He's like chunky and small. And so the new Emperor's Champions, like they're a lot sleeker. The Primaris-sized Helbrecht and Grimaldus, essentially just taking all the models and miniatures that I've enjoyed playing with and collecting for so many years, and just kind of updating them to
But
the new
but do you have
the new discourse.
someone cleaning his sword while it's still inside
Stabbing an
and
orc.
stabbing an orc?
I don't yet, but I will soon. I'll definitely, somebody should get like a 3D printer and print that model a million times and then recreate the memes.
Every single time. I love it. What's
I
up?
think
What's
that
up,
would be
everyone? But I'm psyched about this. You know what I'm also psyched about? We've got some Tau.
Oh my good. Nobody
Everybody's
wants to hear about
everybody's
Tau, Brad.
favorite thing to hate
Get
on.
out of just nobody wants to hear about Tau. Brad, why did you even soil this show with that?
Pew pew pew
Still.
pew pew pew.
No, to be honest, like Tau, the new Kill Team box set, right?
Yeah,
And they also tease like a Tau outline for a character of some sort. So I don't know if that's just like is it a new sculpt or is it just like a new character they're getting in the potential like release of the new codex at
and
some point?
and the thing is with it, I think that for a lot of times they've literally done. Anytime they did something with the Tau, or with Kill Team,
Yeah.
they've actually made it so that it was something that ended up happening in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a big deal on that. So I do.
With a lot of supplements, really. Like historically, like when you played third edition and they released like Cities of Death rules, and there was this rule where everybody within 6 inches could fight in combat or whatever, which was like a crazy like consolidation combat rule. But then they ended up adding in like fourth edition, they ended adding in like Like so it was like everybody. There was a lot more people fighting in close combat, a lot more models, but they had tested it in one of the supplements. So it's nice to see these things in Kill Team because they're gonna like they'll make it to the general game at some point. They use these games to sort of test a lot of the stuff, you know, like
100%.
put it out there, like in small scale and see how it goes. So I'm curious to see what, like those. By the way, those models, those tone models, look phenomenal. Like those Pathfinders look incredible. I really like the look of the Tau.
I dig it. I like what's going. I like the way that I like a lot of the new sculpts. To tell you the truth, I like the new Black Templars. I like them. Their look a lot. What's up? What's up?
How's it going,
We are ready to talk. Okay.
Greenblood says painting so many orc bikers and choppers.
Yeah. And what up, Brad and Scary?
That's right.
So
that's right. That's me and him.
These guys.
Listen.
Hello. But
we got Art of War
40Ks.
Like, straight up.
Hello, friends. The
downvoting people. I'm glad that you share my sentiment for Tau.
I just like the fact that they've got new stuff. Anytime anybody gets anything new makes me excited about the game, the meta, the everything. I love the conversion possibilities. And the thing is I just want to throw the Kill Team stuff out there, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Necromunda. I've missed Necromunda. I know it's 40K today, but Necromunda is like 40K
it's in the 40K universe.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I love the gangs. I feel that they're great opportunities for great conversions. And I've said this before, can't see colors very well, but what I do love is converted models. And I really, really think that those Necromunda models give you like a huge chance of just making different things happen on the board.
Yeah. It's funny because every time I go to like an event, and then you'll see like these wonderfully converted and painted armies. And a lot of the times you'll pick up a model and they'll go, yeah, that's a GW model. And you're like, are you serious? This looks phenomenal. It's not a model I've seen before. Oh yeah, it was for like this like specialist game, like Necromunda or Blood Bowl or whatever, but it's like a GW model. And you're like, this model is incredible. You know, it's
we talked about it. I mean, let's be honest. I love all the AOS stuff and putting it into a Dark Elder army because they have great models, all those new vampires and everything else. Yeah, hello, Archon.
Archons. Yeah. Just Archons. That's all I see.
It's just, speaking of that, we've got some stuff on that. How do you feel, Scary? How do you feel against the new NIDs? What units give you headaches other than Hive Guard? How do you guys feel about the Barbed Herodiles? Barbed Herodiles are still expensive for me. Hive Guard are terrifying. Anything that's indirect is always terrifying. It's because of the fact that it's so hard to deal with it. Barbed Herodiles have a lot of shots and whatnot, but they're direct shots. They can't move through things very easily. You can play around them, especially with a fast army like Mr. Scary has over here. What are your thoughts on that? Playing against that?
Well, number one, you can't like rely on the whole -1 to hit tricks anymore to like stop, exploding sixes because that was like one of the best things you could do. I have the benefit of playing against some of the best Tyranid players like in the world. Literally in my back corner, got Dustin from Starter Snotling, Team Canada member who plays like Force the Hive Mind, and then Alex, who's fellow Art of War coach, and he
is far
the
away
Hive
now.
Mind. But we play on DTS, right? Like and he's part of Team Canada as well, so we get to practice a lot.
He's also very good with NIDs.
He's incredibly good. Now the thing about the new NIDs is like the tools in the list. First of all, I have -1 damage Coven stuff, which even though you get like reroll damage on your Hive Guard or whatever, going from 3 to 2 damage makes them very inefficient at killing stuff like Talos and things like that, which then do quite a bit of damage into the faction. And the other is like a Fight Lost Archon and then like Hellions that if you get too aggressive with your Gene Stealers, they just come in off a strategic reserve and like clear out whatever you threw at me. So it's a matter of just killing all the little stuff, like the Termagants especially, that are going to take all the primary points away from you.
It's funny because I played that game, played some GK versus it, just because, and I did it against Mr. Hughes the other day. Mr. Tricky Dicky, as he's currently on YouTube here. But it was weird because the Hive Guard were murdering everything in 36 when we were playing Vital Intelligence, and I just made a line of, I'm just going to stay over here and just trade from back here. So And the thing is that once I killed the Gene Stealers, it felt like it was a very playable game. While the Hive Guard feel
Yeah.
oppressive in their shooting,
They're gonna kill whatever, but
right?
if your opponent wants to shoot twice with them, like you're spending CP on that, so they're not using it for other stuff. And in order to make Hive Guard unit killy, you're investing not only the cost of the Hive Guard,
It's the
but then you've
characters.
got the Maliceptor, the Warriors, like you're the Warlord trait as well. Like you're investing all these points to make 6 models good. Like,
And the
okay,
funny, the
yep.
weird thing about it is that I actually can't wait till because we have I have a lot in our community collection. We've got a lot of Nids, and we've had a lot of Nids. Played Nids back in
Mhm.
4th edition, I think it was, and I love them. But I want the big guys to be good.
Is that the age of
Nidzilla,
was that Nidzilla, right? Like
yeah.
all the different Carnifexes all
Hmm.
armed differently and stuff, and man, that was a crazy time to play against Nids. They were strong.
But I love the idea of big bugs. See, when I think the swarm, I think a bunch of gaunts with basically right behind him as these lumbering, crushing bodies that go. But right now, Carnifexes are bad. Like you can,
Laughable.
well, I mean, you could literally take 10 guardsmen and lock a Carnifex down for the game right now. They have no attacks. They don't have a sweep attack. They hit poorly. They don't have. They literally can't kill. You and I and 8 friends can literally go. We got this, guys. He's completely
Okay.
solved for the
Okay.
rest of the game.
Okay, one of you might die once in a while, but just keep him busy.
What synapse powers do you guys like and see most on lists? 100% the full rerolls are that's from a warlord trait, of course. Synapse power.
Warlord trait. Mhm.
+1 to hit on the from the warriors is
Amazing.
just crazily good, and
Amazing.
though I think the Maliceptor is literally a hot pile of garbage, he has 2 abilities: his synapse ability
Yo,
plus
strat.
plus the strat, yeah, basically a defensive strat. And the thing is the Hive Guard actually gets significantly better with reroll damage because of the fact that they're still rolling D3s. So if you can basically, if they would just be a flat 2, it'd also be better. But rerolling damage means that you're just taking out any.
It's funny because one of my favorites is the Turvagons, which is
But they're
wound rolls of 1 and 2.
it's huge,
right?
But the
But
Turvagons are
the
terrible.
Turvagon is poop.
It's
Well, yeah,
Poop's mad that you just compared it to a Turvagon.
no. Well, to be honest, there are ways that you can make a Turvagon more survival than it's ever been. Like, especially,
But then you're
you have to spend like
sinking in more
300 points, on this one unit. So, like, if you do something like 30 Devil Gaunts and then 10 of them are Termagants, so you can just like recycle 10 Gaunts every time with it or whatever. And then you make it like harder to wound, and then potentially, but it's like a lot of if you, which is not what you want to hear when you're building a list. What you want to hear is and, not if.
I mean, I got so excited when I first saw the Synaptic Link power. I was like, oh my God, that is so good. I'm going to make that. I've got to go be amazing. And then when it's a Turvagon, I go, never mind.
No.
It's bad enough that I have a Maliceptor who literally goes, oh, somebody's near me.
Take brain power. So, to answer your question, Gokui, some are really good, some are terrible. Like the Trigon Prime one, I think is like fall back and shoot and charge or something, right? But like, who takes a Trigon Prime?
It's the same thing with the Turvagon. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
it's like you have to inherently change the unit that you're investing points in. Even to take a really cool thing like that, then there's a problem with the unit you need to take to make it work. The only reason Maliceptor works is it's got durability in the form of an invul. It's got like some psychic support. It's kind of like a mini Hive Tyrant in terms of wounds, toughness, like durability. And then it has a -1 damage as strength, which is really useful. And then, of course, reroll damage, which is incredibly good, right?
The auto wounding on 6s is huge for the Gene Stealers because they have more volume. That it basically when you take 16-ish Gene Stealers into something and you have double exploding 6s and auto wounding on 6s, that unit's like just terrifying.
Especially with full rerolls, because then you just fish for 6s,
yep.
right?
You
so
reroll
6
everything that's not a
2
6.
Wound rolls, and then 6s just become wounds, which you hope with the moles, because then they're great. But I mean, like, and then like the thing about Stealers is they'll just kill everything they touch. like they rarely didn't kill everything they touched before. Now they just can like, punch a little bit high
They can
above
they
their
can get
weight
greedier.
class.
They can get
Yes.
greedier
So
because
they're not like you're gonna kill like you can commit them more assuredly in the
right.
fact that they're gonna kill what they
You
ping.
can spread out so well. And the thing
Yeah.
is because they're more lethal, they can actually be more annoying because they can grab more things. They can spread out over the board, move block more effectively, and
Yeah.
also still kill what you wanted them to kill. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, an overrun's still a thing on that. You know what I mean? They can literally just get where they need to go after they kill it. So,
Hmm.
that's just a thing. I like Nits a lot. They just don't have the defensive. We need a new meta. I just went off on a rant again on flyers and everything else.
Did
Until
you really, Brad? What did that sound like?
it sounded like it has the past couple weeks when I do Meta Monday and go and I see the same thing happen every time.
There's so many
Ah,
salty people online right now with it. It's just ridiculous, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's ridiculous.
we just
But
we need things to change a bit.
yeah.
The thing is and the problem is that I actually think that the nid list is going to be way scarier once we fix the very top. Once we because of the fact that the nids didn't get any more durable, so they still have the problem of we hit really hard. They're like a fighter with poor cardio. He throws a couple
Mhm.
big hands and then, whew, I'm
That's it.
real
He's
tired,
out.
man.
If he didn't knock you out with that 1-2, like then he's like gonna have a hard time. Like he'll slow down basically.
So I think it's big to know on that. It's just
Going back to Necromunda though, that completely changed the subject. Going
hit me
back to
up.
Necromunda.
I'm always ready to talk anything.
What the heck was the release? I don't know if you can pull up pictures, but they released like some sort of weird chimera. Like, is it a mutant
Chimeric,
thing, or
it's the
is it like a
Chimerix in
jinx-like?
the
Like,
Underhive. Let me find this for you, brother.
it looks cool, and it's great for like a Claude Fiend. As soon as I read that, I was like, "Ooh, that would make a cool Claude Fiend for like someone who's doing a Drukhari collection of like a whole bunch of different beasts for their beast pack."
There you go.
I like
You
I
now
like
you now
collecting different
have
models
you now
for that.
have a Claude Fiend.
Yeah, right.
It is the Chimerix.
Yeah.
Escher
What in the world is
Chimerix. It is. I actually don't know. It's an exotic pet. I just remember.
Oh, is
The
it? Just
noble
like
houses of Necromunda. It's an exotic pet that looks like it might murder you. Sometimes you gotta have a murder pet.
murder pets.
Murder pets are
Super
the
super
rave.
fluffy though. Like you see it, you're like, see some of those like you see a pet or a dog, you're like, ugh, a dog's gonna murder me. But they're like really nice and friendly.
This is not nice and friendly. I feel like this is
No,
just
no.
all murder all the time. It is a murder
I would
pet.
love to paint it too. They painted it like a whole bunch of different colors.
Oh, it
and
looks
made like
fantastic.
really bright. Although I will say GW continues to take the worst pictures for all their models ever. They feel like they go out of their way to take the wrong angle
By the way,
and make it look terrible.
Steve, excellent pick. I didn't even notice. There's literally, I got to go back to this pick. Oops.
There's a bow on its
That's me.
wrist.
There's a bow on its wrist. I should probably not just show everybody the thing. Yep, I got to get back to that pick.
Like a present, like a bow, like
There
it's
is
a present.
literally a bow.
Oh, like a dog, like if you put a little bow on like a
Yeah,
dog or something.
there's a bow on its wrist, right there. There's a bow on its wrist. I love everything
Amazing.
about that. I did not even see that, my man. That is a great pick. Love it.
That's so
And
funny.
that's exactly where you went, though. It is a friendly. It's just a friendly creature.
Friendly murder pet.
Friendly murder pet. No big deal.
As a Drukhari player, I can relate to the friendly murder pets. With all the Urgle and the Claude Fiends and the Chimeras.
Oh my god. Is there ever been the weirder group of people? Let's talk about the Court of the Archon crew real quick here, because that is a motley crew. Where did these guys even come from? Group of fellas.
Well, a Lamian's just a Drukhari that likes poison. A Slith is literally a race that has been extinct, but they're snake people, and they are very sturdy. Urgles are just like dogs, but like more like a mix between a dog and a rat, and like some sort of baboon, right? And then you have Medusa, which is a brain parasite that literally sticks on someone's like face and like grows fruit that then the archon eats to relive stuff. Like it's a psychedelic
Yes, that's
brain
what I'm
fruit.
saying. That is the weirdest one that I have right there. That is such a weirdo thing. Ah, here we go. We got a super mega chat. Hey
Hey,
Brad,
Matto, thanks for the super mega chat.
or sisters, is it crazy that I would rather have exploding sixes versus the 5+9 sacred right? Hope that is not too specific. Sal, you're on GK. No, it literally there's. Yeah, I can't even talk. 5+9 is very, very good. Don't get me wrong when you're playing against the psychic armies, but six exploding sixes is just always good, especially when you're taking out your bloody rose units. You're getting up there. It's you're never
Something
going
you're
wrong.
going to use all the time,
Yep,
and it's going to come up all the time.
100%.
It's like it's whenever you're building a list and you're starting to tweak something, one of the biggest things that is important to use is like when you're picking a warlord trait, picking a relic, you're picking like a war gear choice on a unit. If you're going to like a 9-round event, you don't want to just use that thing twice or 2 or 3 times. Like a lot of the times you want something that you're going to use in all 9 games or in all your games. Then it becomes a very efficient choice. Is the 5-up denied good against like Thousand Sons Grey Knights? Absolutely, right? But that when you need to go in and kill stuff, which you need to do into every matchup, then you just want more hits. Like you just need.
You didn't even
the
get to pick it
mathematics.
because you get to pick the sacred right as you go. But it's one of those things where it's a defensive thing, but how often are you going to be using it? You know what I mean? As opposed to, I tell you the truth, in 40K right now, I actually think that offense is way better than defense because everybody can deal so much lethal damage that your defense feels like it's always so far behind, even if you add 33% less. You're like, does that 33% save my unit? Probably not, actually. You know what I mean? You're still probably dead. So,
Unless you're Talons.
yes. Talent. There's certain things that are very durable, but I mean, as a whole, when you're looking at your units, your sisters, your just units in general, it almost always I would rather have more offense than
Because you're
defense.
trading, right? Like the game is very much about trading pieces. And if you don't trade effectively, like you don't, if you commit, and we just talked about it with the Gene Stealers, if you send a unit out and you can't guarantee that it's going to kill the thing you need to kill, and then it's a bad trade, and then you'll lose the game based on, you can just easily lose the game. So you need to send like those 5 Zephyrim, exploding sixes with reroll everything from Morven Vol, and they're going to run in and have a bazillion attacks with rerolls, and they're going to end with more hits than when they started to hit you and do more, and that's like the efficiency, like a little tiny unit that can go out and murder like a big unit of something, right? And that's kind of what you're looking for, and that really helps you do that, and that's why it's so important.
1,000%. And the thing is that I love things that have the pains and stuff like that, but I think they need to be. That's why I like the Court of the Archon. Besides the fact that it has insanity stories, it's so funny because I power game the crap out of everything, but I'm such a fluff person. I love when I can put fluff units in my army. I love the Court of the Archon.
You see this? I finally got myself 3 more of these.
Nice.
Little things. So I got official Slith. Now I can actually run a full court, except for the Medusas. But yes, they're great. So
I love that. I want to throw this out to everybody. What are your guys' oddball choice, like fluff-wise, maybe even army-wise, that you put in most of your armies?
That's a great question, because I feel like most players out there, where you're competitive or not, or just playing for fluff. But of course, the people who talk to a more competitive players, there will always be that feeling in your heart of like, I just want to take this because I like this unit. I don't care how good or bad it is. But hello, Nergal Matthew in the chat as well. So I don't know. For me, depends on the army. But Black Templars, it's always been the Land Raider Crusader ever since I got one in 3rd edition.
It's like a long time ago. You've been playing. Oh, have you been playing as long as I have?
3.5.
That's because 3rd edition came. The original 3rd edition came.
No, 3rd edition before 3.5. Yeah. I think I started. Well, like I played Black Templars out of the Armageddon book. Right, that's like
Ooh,
Third War for Armageddon, Gazgul,
yeah.
global campaign
I
style.
love
Yeah.
that. Well, I wish we had another one of those. Is anybody around for the global campaigns where you used to put in your results and they would,
Online,
yeah, and it would,
and they would
and it
show
would,
like straight up.
because
I did, I did, I did Armageddon. I did Medusa 5. I did the 13th Black Crusade. Right, like those are the three main ones. No, then we had the expansion, the Sphere expansion.
yeah.
Did they do a town? Anyway, yes,
I love when you put in your results and you were, but depending on where you were in the world, you had a different sector that your results counted towards. Oh, I
yeah.
love that stuff. Love it.
Hmm.
Whew. Love, love, love it. I can't get enough of that. I wish we would have some more interactive stuff like that again. I actually think that helps. I love it. Just I love the fluff stuff, anyways. Though uh, they did it in White Dwarf. Did I miss a campaign that was happening?
Uh, they did it in White Dwarf. Right? Gavin might be talking about one of the campaigns that was in a White Dwarf. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I love those. I just love those campaigns. I mean, I love anything that
They were
feels.
really cool.
Well, they've other games have done that too. They've been very, very successful with that. Um, where they basically just push the narrative of the game depending on what happens in their tournaments and stuff like that.
Well,
So,
at the same time, like 40K today wise,
oh,
GW's been releasing Octarius data, right? So they've been releasing all the campaign books, but it's funny how they have such the capacity to release information and to give us cool toys to play with, but that classic feel of being a part of something global like that, like that's not like other than going to tournaments and ITC
no, but
ranking and
like, man,
stuff,
if you were
it's
putting
not
it,
really the
if we
same.
would do the same type of thing again and we had the interactive map, which showed you how many games were won and lost and how you were doing and stuff like that, because they had it in stages too, where it affected other games on that.
So what's your unit that you picked? And everybody in chat, if we'll pick a
I was
few
putting
if you
some. We
say
had
what
servitors. We
you
have a couple things. We have the warp spiders coming in. I just love the crazy fluff units that do stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I try to work. I love having Magan Ra in Craft World armies just because I love that dude when he shows.
badass.
Well, it's not
Sorry,
even that, but
pardon my
when he shows up, you know shit's going down. You know what I mean? Like, you're never happy to see Magan Ra. He also basically surfed his Craft World out of the Eye of Terror. He just took Altasar and just went, "Let's go, bros." What happened? My Craft World was in the Eye of Terror, and now it's not. I went in there with what? Me and a couple of my bros. We just rode it out, surfboard style.
Oh man, the Dark Reapers are like it's funny because I read Janezar, like the story of like how like Janezar came into being, and the story of how the shrines started it's like really dark. Like
Yeah.
you do not want the Phoenix Lords to show up at your door because you just know like bad shit's about
Well,
to
it's the same
happen.
thing with the
Just
Harlequins.
all of
My one of my favorite things is the Harlequins come to your craft world and put on a play, and you're like, "Oh my god!" They use literally supernatural magic powers to show you a play, and then you go, "Oh, wait a second! Harlequins only show up if impending doom is coming." Oh
them.
man, like this
Oh,
sucks.
stories heard you in legends, but never ends well.
Oh man, Corey coming in with the fight quotes from this weekend. Yes, I do think we'll see another Phoenix Lord Black Library book. I hope so. I really hope so. And the thing is that we could do all kinds of stuff with, obviously anybody that hasn't seen it on it, the Phoenix Lord for the Striking Scorpions, the original has always been thought to be a certain someone. So there's maybe that is not for sure.
Although, yeah, it can always be, maybe they were twins, right? Like, and it was good twin, bad twin. It kind of like split.
Yeah, it's
One
also
maybe
something.
die, and the other one, you never know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when your rain showed up at your craft world, no. Like your
That's
rain
not a bad
showing
one.
up at your craft world was like her basically like, I got stuff to do, not related to you, I swear. Just go about your business. You're like, don't you
Oh,
worship
here,
the
let me
god of
split your
death?
crossworld in two.
I'm gonna be doing a ritual over here. Don't worry, it won't affect you at all. I swear.
El Kukui says, I love to give the Lord Commissar a warlord trait to give orders. Yeah, and it's cool because when you give it to a commissar, you can give orders to anything, not just company stuff. It's kind of neat.
Ooh,
Yeah.
here is it. Now, who is the best Phoenix Lord? I need to know immediately.
Okay, define. You have to define best. You can't
Cool,
just say
just coolest,
best.
just
Like,
coolest. How about
the
that?
coolest Phoenix Lord, Azraman, 100%. He's a badass. I love Azraman. He's so cool. Or Fugan. Like, because he just melts things.
I will get crumping as soon as they fix the flyer stuff. Uh, there's a ton of orc stuff that I'm very, very interested in. And I think it's super exciting. Um, Mr. Snigowski, Mr. Jason Snigowski, is actually playing an orc list that we came up with, him and myself. I of
Nice.
course went, you should play this, and he went, no problem, Brad, and then put his own twist on it. But
Yep.
I think there's a ton of stuff in the orc list or the orc codex that can be played that are super fun that are just getting overshadowed now because of the fact that you're just playing planes and buggies, just smashing with it. You know what I mean? When that's gone, I will play some orcs, but I like playing punchy orcs. I'm not a big
Yep.
fan of buggy fly orcs. It's not.
Well, to be honest, I'm a big fan of the new Speed Freak stuff. Like, not necessarily because it's crazy, crazy good, but there's some the fact that you lose like your clan culture except for like specialist mobs, and the fact that you can have like trucks like double move and stuff like that or whatever, because they can be speed free, truck speed freaks. Anyway, you can have like that moving, getting out, and assaulting stuff with a bunch of obsec bikes that have invul saves and whatever.
Yeah, you just have
I feel like
there's options. There's
it's a
just fun
completely
stuff.
different thing than just the freebird stuff.
Truck boys moving up,
Yeah.
then getting out. You know what I mean? So advancing and charging. Avatar does need a ton of love. Avatar is lame comparatively, even with the point reductions he got. He just needs to be
He's
a
an
big
old
boy.
model too. He's like if anything, you look at what Nightbringer Deceiver is versus like what the Void Dragon is, and I can see a very big change between what old Avatar is and you see the new Forge World one, and then if
Oh,
they
dude,
do it or whatever,
I
I can see
actually
them be like,
I forgot that was the Forge Road because I was just used to seeing the big Avatar if it was brought, and then Sean brought
the little tiny one.
baby Avatar. He's like, this is actually the legal model. The Forge World one's a Forge World model, and I go,
Yeah.
this is sad. Your Avatar brings a tear to my eye. He looks all.
I look at him hide behind this wall and get back up a million times.
He's like the real Avatar's little buddy. I love the fact, by the way, that, let's be honest, guys, it's a demon. It's literally a bloodthirster with no wings, and they just put a hat on him. If you pulled the hat off, it would just be a bloodthirster going, "What's up?"
Bloodhand. Bloodhand. Actually, it's funny because Warhammer Plus had they've been doing their Hammer and Bolter stuff. And there's an episode of no spoilers. There's an episode that involves like Craft World, and you do get to see like an avatar, right? Like in its glory and fighting some stuff, and it's pretty cool. And in the stories, an avatar Khaine literally makes all the Eldar go murder crazy. Like,
Yeah, again, he's a demon from the warp.
Yeah.
I mean, there's never been a pure screw you than the laughing god just telling Slanesh to go pound sand and just being like, "Oh, looks like you're killing everybody. Smoke bomb, deuces."
Oh, you think this is your soul? Nope. Nope.
He's like, "Look, I might be
man.
losing the war, but I'm really harassing and annoying you."
I'm really pissing you off. It's like the ultimate.
Before I'm gonna go two things. I want to ask one more question, then I want to go into some more Hammer Plus stuff because I asked Siegs this last week, but you hadn't been paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
First off, what unit and/or character has the most difference between the stories, novels, fluff, and what they actually do on the table?
Oh, like one of those. Have you ever seen those little videos or reels, TikTok stuff, where it's like, the video and then real life or whatever?
Dude, for instance, when I first started playing 40K, I read all the fluff. I read second edition Chaos Codex, and then I bought some Chaos Terminators, and that's a different story in and of itself because I didn't know what sprues were. I just thought I was getting models. So that's a real thing. So I literally put the Terminators down into the stories. 5 Chaos Terminators show up on a planet, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, and everybody just flees. Oh no, these 5 dudes are gonna wreck everybody. And I played them in my first game, and a couple plasma guard guys just went, oh, it's Terminators, pew pew, dead. And I was like, what the hell just happened? I'm like, these dudes make people run. 4 dudes like look like me went, oh no, bing. I'm like,
bring them down with your flashlights. Yeah, 100%. That's a good one. Terminators, I think, are an iconic, like, for the lore versus what they actually do in real life. It's like the lore is totally propaganda. Like, it's just straight up Imperial propaganda of how good Terminators are. I want to say a lot of the Space Marine stuff is like that. Do you remember the old movie Marine rules?
Oh, dude, that was from the White Dwarf.
Yeah, the White Dwarf movie Marine rules, where they literally were like Marines, how they were supposed to be, but they were so good that it's only for the movies, and they had like stunt doubles that could take damage for them and stuff.
Those are fantastic. No, but there's like certain units that like are just in the fluff or just indomitable. I give it to you, the Gilliman's just been demolishing. Yeah, any Marine.
Andrew, you're right. Any Space Marine. Like for example, a Land Raider, for example. A Land Raider is supposed to be like
it's a building,
undestructible box of ceramite that literally rushes at the enemy and unloads Marine killing machines in the middle of like
it is true.
the thick of it.
I'll give you one. He might up you on this one. Yarg in the fluff. Yarg is murdering millions of orcs. If you bring that guy, 3 orcs literally just put him in a headlock and just pummel him.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Mephiston is a beast in the lore, but just gets one shot in Mike. That's another one. Mephiston, the Lord of Death, like literally has controlled the Black Rage and is like total psychic.
Yeah, but I mean, like a lot of these characters literally have like their fluff is after he stood in the doorway and defeated 1 million Dark Eldar, and then in the game you're like, oh, who's that guy? And a succubus just does a drive-by, kills him. He goes, there's supposed to be a character around here I have to kill. Oh, that guy was? Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally murdered him.
Oh, I didn't even see him there. I was
my
just
bad.
show stealing my way through this battle.
Yeah, that's true. The Land Raider is built like a brick house and basically plays like a literal brick house. It's a brick. I mean, it is one of the best models if you had to defend yourself in the 40K match.
Put it in a giant sock. Just like swing it around.
So,
Beyblades, they're so sad on the table.
It's
like a
Beyblade, the characters, though.
Yeah, characters.
I mean, a lot of the characters. I'm not going to lie. Phoenix Lords not having an info makes me.
Any of the Phoenix Lords.
Yes.
Any of them.
But like, you're like, what happened? You're like, all right, this guy showed up. Does he have an invuln? Well, no. Well, he just gets killed. You're like, but in the book it says he killed 700 million people on a Tuesday. You're like, well, in this game he's getting beat up by guardsmen. So,
what about units or models that are faithful to the lore?
Ooh, Vanguard vets.
Yeah, I think they'd be pretty.
Maybe
like,
any of them. I would say not even just Vanguard vets, like Wolfguard version of them, because those guys go in all bizarre and just murder everything around them.
Whatever they touch,
yeah,
they just kill. Yeah, I could see that.
The entire Harlequin range. That's actually true on that too. They do some crazy.
I want to say the Eversur Assassin. The Eversur Assassin is weirdly like close to what it is in the lore, just like a murder machine that will go in and murder like a giant blob of dudes and then die and explode. Like, and that's literally what they do.
Oh, dude, all those characters have killed like big things. It's funny with that. I wish the assassins were better than they. I used to love the old. It was either Calyxus or Caladius that had word in your ear. This has actually happened.
Oh, the Calidus in 3rd edition.
Calidus in 3rd edition. This is a real thing that happened.
You can literally redeploy an enemy unit.
Yeah, no, this is a real thing that happened. I'm playing next to a friend of mine, and we're sitting here playing, and he starts the game, and the guy's playing Necrons, and that's when the Resorb had to be within 6 inches of everything to get reanimation. And he started the game, and he moved the Resorb character 6 inches back so it wasn't in range of anybody.
My favorite
and they just bombed his army.
You could literally choose the facing of any of the vehicles and stuff when you redeployed them. So you grab like someone's Lehman Russ that had 14 front armor, which was like the
Turn it
toughest
around.
armor,
Yeah.
and literally turn it around so that the butt would be facing your army. You just bolt her to death.
Oh, dude,
Oh my
bloodthirsters.
god.
Yeah, if bloodthirsters, when bloodthirsters show up in the fluff, like armies get murdered, and currently bloodthirsters are having a tough time killing a unit of uh, assault intercessors. You're like,
Yeah.
transhuman? No way, man. You're
Nope.
like, I'm the god of death, incarnation of the god of war. You're like, well, you're some guy that's holed up right now killing some idiots. These guys don't even have names, just red shirts.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, guard. I think conscripts, guardsmen, like grots, like any unit that in the lore you don't expect anything of, and then they just don't do anything, or they always exceed your
Oh, dude,
expectations.
if you want to go crazy stuff, and things I don't want to happen anymore, but it was a crazy rule, was the old, when Gene Stealer's rule was something's, Billy's acting funny or whatever, and you would literally have a random character turn into a Gene Stealer because he was infected, and that's how the Gene Stealer would pop up.
Oh my gosh, that wasn't a lictor, right? That was
It was a
yeah, that was a
Gene
stealer.
Stealer. Yeah, because they
I
infected.
remember. Ah man, what? Yeah, the Calidus. Matt O says the Calidus literally replaced the
That's what it
model in
made me
your
think
opponent's
about it.
army.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it made
that
me think of
was
that.
literally just replace a model, and that model was the Calidus. Yeah, that was bonkers back then. Oh boy, so many good times.
What do you think of
So many good.
Sal? I asked you what ISCs last week, and I think it's,
Yeah.
for me, it's more. What do you think of Warhammer Plus so far, and what does it need to add to have you continue to be cool with it, or be cool with
Um.
it? Period.
So Warhammer Plus has been a very like, contentious topic in terms of the 40K community because everybody's. I feel everyone is used to Netflix and Amazon, and and like all these other subscription services that have like a ton of just content and just well established companies and stuff. And GW does have lots of like they have money. I don't know how much like liquid capital they have for investments or whatever, but they're a big company. The fact that they did it, I have been subscribing since the beginning, mainly because I already paid for the app just for having like it's on me. However, and so it just included the cost of the app, so it's just easy for me to do that. But I've been enjoying. I
Sorry,
have.
Nurgle Mac goes way more animations. I agree, and then Andrew
Yeah,
comes in with Warhammer Plus needs more plus.
correct. It needs more. So like I feel like in a couple of years when there's a data like a bank of like they literally started from scratch. Like we're gonna just release something every week or whatever, and they did zero instead of banking up a bunch of stuff and then going, hey, we're releasing this with a bunch of stuff already, right? Um, but everything that they've released so far, I've enjoyed. I like the stories, I like the lore, and it's the thing I've always wanted something like this since I was a kid playing the game. I
I
always my
agree. I just,
brothers and me'd be like, can you imagine
I,
a cartoon of this?
in all
Can you
seriousness,
imagine?
I agree though on his comment. I think the plus needs more. I just need more stuff.
Yeah,
And the thing is
needs more
that
stuff.
in some of the things they put out have some have been significantly better than others, but I'm okay with that.
Correct.
But I
Yeah,
would just like to see more. I would actually like to see more.
right.
If you just give me more, there'll be more misses, but there'll be more hits. You know what I mean? And there'll be
Correct.
just more decisions. And sometimes
Well,
you can get
when you
hidden
have a
gems.
small amount of stuff, right? It's like quantity over quality or whatever. Like when you have a small amount of stuff, you want the quality to be higher because if you're only enjoying one thing, you want it to be good, right? If you have a whole bunch of stuff to enjoy and you can pick and choose, then every individual thing doesn't have to be like perfect because you just can pick and choose what you want to see. Um, the Hammer and Bolter series has been great. I really enjoyed Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix, and that style, which was different short
I would
animations
love it. Give
with
me
their
more.
own little
But
story.
the thing
They
is
was literally like that style, and that's why I
put
like it.
in
But they
more.
released all of that in one go. In this case, I have to wait.
I would love for them to purchase. I mean, instead of fighting with some of the other creators, you know what I mean, that do a lot of stuff, just give them a royalty or give them a thing and just pick up a lot of the stuff that's already that people are creating. There's a lot of content creators that are doing really good stuff
Mhm.
that are just not
Like,
straight GW people.
yeah, yeah. Something like I'm really enjoying the Blood Angel story so far, and it's like it's gritty. It's like the story, like it's just exactly what I would expect from like the situation that those Blood Angels, and I'm an old school player who played Battlefleet Gothic and Necromunda and all these like other obscure games, and so the parallels that I'm seeing is like fantastic, and I love just being immersed in it. But Nurgle Matthew's right. You can literally go through the entire library that they've had up for, what, 2 months now? In like one weekend. Just binging it all.
That's the thing. And I'm not going to lie, guys. Like Corey brought up, the dialogue in the Space Wolf one was cringy, but I would, again, you can have more misses if you just have more.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's going to be misses, let's be honest. But I would also like them to put out both sides. Put out that fun kind of animation, but then give us some like gritty, like literally the world of the setting of 40K is just a dark, the dark future. There's only war. You give me some more gritty, busted stories of just crazy things going down. I just want more stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. I'm going to continue to get it because I want to support it. I want an app to work. I want us to be able to show up to the table at the tournaments and literally do like battle plan where I just fling my list to you and you have everything right at your fingertips. And I
can't wait for them to integrate all that stuff. Like, it would just be so much easier. Like, they do have a lot of hiccups. They need to hire like a good technical writer. We could do a whole session on 40K, what it should be today, and kind of go through like a whole bunch of, maybe we could write a worded letter to GW.
Well, that's the thing but the thing is that if we need more, Warhammer Plus needs more content, and the app needs to be functional and something that everybody wants. Because I feel like I talk about it all the time. When I show up at a tournament, I try to make sure that I take every step to communicate exactly what I'm doing, what I have in my list, what's going on, little markers, just the little everything, so that you know what you're playing against. I want to know what I'm playing against. And then of course I lose half my stuff over the weekend, which I do quite frequently, but we won't go there. But something like the app would be great for that, because I can send it over and it would have all of my units broken down. You know what I mean? Fantasy already has this, AOS, whatever you want to call it, with their battle plan. You can just look at every unit and the stats and everything they do. It would be so helpful to just have that at your fingertips. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't have to just be like, here's my codex. You know what I mean? You want to look for stuff, but you have it right there in the app in front of you. Here's everything my army does, and here's the strats that I can use during this game. So you can just look at them, and you could look at them before the game. You know what I mean? So it'd be
what they need to do is get Battle Scribe and merge it with like the ease of navigation of Warhammer, and like have a baby that's called the Warhammer 40K app, and literally so you can have your list that's easy to make like Battle Scribe, but it has easily clickable navigation stuff and rule comprehension like Warhammer.
Some of these,
boom, done.
I love some of these things in chat, guys. Love them. App needs to be fixed 100%. Is what we're talking about. Battle Scribe is more usable. I would love to see all of the backlog of stuff more easily able to see.
I wish it was just on the app. Like it's hard to like. I still haven't found where the vault is. I'm like, I've been looking for it for 3 months. I still don't.
100%, dude, Matt. GW should just have a version of Warhammer PD people could pay for. 1,000%. That's what you want at the table. Literally, that's what it's like when you go to tournaments. I mean, I want all this stuff for my own, like Warhammer Plus. I want to enjoy. I want more animations. I want more stuff. I love the whole reason I got into this hobby was fluff wise. I was a card player and a role playing guy, and then got into 40K later. I didn't start playing until I'm an old man. In the first place, I've been playing for 21 years, and I didn't start playing until 29. So but the thing is that I want all this stuff in there, but when I go to tournaments and stuff like that, and a lot of people want ease of tournament, and I think it would help new people, or not even new people, just inexperienced players and stuff like that, all the way to elite players. If you just had the app have everything that I need for this game, really cool. Scary, you and I are playing. Cool, you're going to play your Dark Elder against me. Here's your list. In the app, I can see every unit. I can see what they do, what their stats are, everything else. Mm-hmm. And because I have these units and this particular cults and covens and cabals, here's the list of strats I could possibly use. And it basically just deletes everything that's not available for you, which is super easy because they all have things that you have, keywords, exactly. So you could just go, these are the stratagems that I'm using, and then cool. And then if you try to do something, your opponent can just look at it. Oh, okay. We're on the same page. I just don't think that that's very hard. And maybe I have no idea. I don't know how to write any of this. So I just point at things, make the scary technology work, guys.
Yeah. So that'll be.
Heard they're implementing a Tinder-like function into the app.
To find players nearby. Well,
that would actually get
go. That'd be useful, so we can find games nearby.
Exactly.
Other than that, like this, there's like curious to see what everybody else thinks. I think everybody kind of really has like it's funny because the general discourse of us as a player base is we understand what we want, but there seems to be a divide between what we feel we understand what we want and what we're getting, and it's about.
But it's
how do we?
The problem is we're getting an unfinished product. It feels like right now. You know what I mean? Like we don't have enough. We want more plus in our Warhammer Plus. The app needs to have just more. I mean, literally, like that. Again, you're saying they should make competition seats for the army, so it shows what strats they can use. Exactly what I was saying. What warlord traits they have. You know what I mean? All that stuff should be included when you look at your army. Your opponent should send their army list to you in the app easily, and you should literally have all of that right there. So you can just check it. You can look at their stuff. It just feels better to know exactly what the opponent's army can do, especially to win the game. You don't want to find out in the middle of a game that somebody could double fight, double move, put something in reserve. Just, you know what I mean? It's great to have that knowledge, but it also just makes the game easier and more fun. You have to worry about just playing and having a good time as opposed to digging through rules to show something works. You're on a time clock, you know what I mean? You have X amount of time to play that game. So anytime you can give yourself more time and enjoy yourself, it's 100%.
Yep. No, I 100% agree, Brad. You couldn't have said it better.
Exactly. Send me your list. Boom. I would love that right there. Because of the fact that there's no disagreements. You go, hey, what does this do? What does this stratagem do? Here's my list. Here's all the available stuff. You know what I mean?
You can click on anything relevant and read through it and whatever.
Like, it's just so good. And the thing is that's why I try to put things up front. All that, this is what we do. Like the same thing we had in our game. We were talking about what's what. Here's that. I've got a marker for this. You've got this. We know exactly what it, and the thing is it doesn't matter what your player skill experience level is. You just have it in front of you so that everybody knows what's going on. And it'll be awesome. 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 And also, I want more animations. Scary, what are you doing this week? Tell me how to live my life.
Well, just live the best life, everybody. Have fun out there. Have fun. Have good games. I'm actually getting ready to go to. You're going to Du Bois, and I'm going to a big team event that's happening.
Team events, the best events.
The best. I cannot wait. We've got a crack team, and we're gonna go and try win it. So it's gonna be fun.
Like everything about it. So everyone, we've got so much stuff happening this week. Tons of games. I had everything pulled up, and then I decided to pull it down while I was looking for new models. So
get yourself your own murder pet. Click the link down below. Join the war room today.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. Love it. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I love talking to everyone.
No problem.
Take it easy now.